Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show in this segment streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton, Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, our guest on the Zoom. And sorry for the snafu there, Ed, but at least we got you on for a little bit of the show. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing great, especially since the Packers found a victory there last week. So.
Oh, I feel like Bears and Packers fans, man, they just really get into the preseason. But everybody gets into the preseason. We're just happy to have football back, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very good. Hey, Ed, let's dive into so in the first segment, for folks that are on Zoom, not listening to the radio this morning, we did a deep dive of the month of August, all the rain we've gotten, those sorts of things. Let's look ahead to September, Ed. What do the outlooks tell us about September? Let's first start with maybe that first week or so leading up to the Labor Day weekend. What's the first week look like of September in terms of outlooks?
Sure. Yeah. Right now it's showing above normal temperatures. So that'll put us, into the probably mid 80s for upper temperatures. Precipitation wise, we're right on the edge of below normal precip, which is good. We could use a little break. So, that's right. That's just through the 6th of September. So it's right up to Labor Day there. If we look beyond that, then it's getting into the middle 2 weeks of the month is our 3 to 4 week outlook. And that just shows equal chances for temps, but we're near the above normal temps. So, but nothing overly hot there. And then equal chances for precip. So probably, a typical inch or two a week. Looks like it's probable there in the middle of the month.
Well, Ed, as we talk the rest of September, then, what's the whole month outlook show? And I don't know if you've got like a back end of the month look yet. So I guess, what do you know?
Well, the full month outlook shows above normal precip for September, which wouldn't bode well if we're below or near in the first 3 weeks. So, there may be some stormy systems coming in at the end of the month. They don't update that. That comes out on August 20th. So, when we see additional rainfalls occurring, right now they aren't going to update that monthly outlook at all. So we'll see, what happens once we finally get out of September. But right now, the whole month is targeted for above normal based on what they saw on August 20th so far. But yeah, and then, when the 3 month outlook includes September, it's equal chances for temperatures and precip for the September, October, November time frame. So, nothing standing out there, though we are in a solid El Nino right now, and it's expected to get stronger as we head towards the winter season.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about next. Is it possible that the back end of September, and maybe we'll get a quick 3 month outlook after this, but is it possible the El Nino setting up, in the Pacific is going to create, because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't El Nino mean like a more active hurricane season? And so, sometimes those storms drift north and they impact us. I don't know. Is that what forecasters could be looking at?
Yeah, exactly. Because the warmer equatorial waters off of South America also translates into the Gulf. There are warmer conditions that do exist, and that's the whole fuel for hurricanes. And if we get a hurricane into the Gulf, all bets are off with where the remnants end up. We've had several flooding events in Illinois from remnants of hurricanes going into the Texas coast, up through Arkansas, and just really giving us, 5, 6, 7 inches of rain in single events. So we have to keep an eye on that, as we have this El Nino condition already in place and expected to strengthen.
Yeah, for sure. So does that mean October, November looking above normal for precip as well?
They don't really plan for one, so it's in the conditional probabilities, but they don't usually make an entire outlook based on the just that the conditions are there over all the time. So right now they just have equal chances. They're not latching onto that. Maybe in the next month or two, if we start to see more of the hurricane extended models start to show, a more training effect of a few more, then I think they'll start to uptick. Just only the outlook that maybe tip the balance a few percentage points. But at this point, But just beware. Yeah, if we stay saturated soils into that active hurricane season, the peak months here, then we're going to probably have some trouble with flooding again.
Sure, got it. So what does the 3-month outlook show for us for September, October, and November, the traditional harvest season?
Yeah, right now it says equal chances for temperatures and equal chances above or below normal for precip. So just the middle of the road, which bodes well, I think, because the crops have had a lot of good moisture when they needed it, I think, and if we can keep the field conditions favorable for harvest, I think it's going to be it's boding that way right now. I think we should be fine for harvest season and not have an overly wet soil content and be able to get them in there on a timely manner.
Got it. Anything about the outlook catching your eye, or anything unique that is that's worth mentioning here before we move along and wrap up for the day?
Yeah, there is quite a bit of heat southwest, and then it shifts in the 3-month outlook. It shifts to the Pacific Northwest, so there's pretty warm air lingering nearby. So we could have, I think, a couple of those heat waves just creeping into the area. Not necessarily, in the hundreds, but we're still really close to some very warm air out west, and it only takes one little oscillation or a low pressure system to pull some of that heat in. So, we could have. Summer's not over yet is basically what I'm seeing.
Fair enough. Hey, real quick highlight, daylight, Ed. We're starting to lose a lot of it. I was at a football game Friday by 7:45. Lights were taking effect. Let's highlight daylight and how much we're losing at this point. I hate to say it. I enjoy when we can talk about how much we're gaining, but we're losing daylight. What do you know?
Yeah, right now we've got about 13 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. By the end of the month, that's going to be, upper 12s, 12 hours and 50 some minutes. So, and then by the end of September, we lose about another hour there or so. So it's going away slowly but surely.
Yep. Well, it is the season. 'Tis the season. Very good, Ed. Where do folks go for the latest in weather forecasts, weather data?
Weather.gov/Lincoln.
Very good. Ed, always good to talk to you, man. Thanks for making time for us.
You bet.
Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, our guest on the Zoom. Network News comes your way next.
WHOW.